Hi friends, this is Ganesh. Hope you are doing great. In this video, we are going to see how to make the ALV more faster and reliable with the help of HANA platform. So this one, we are going to almost skip the entire application layer data manipulation process. So whenever you are able to make the entire business scenario with the help of code push down concept to HANA database, then this is for you. Okay. So if still you do have a data manipulation, then I want to get it and put it in the application layer, do a data manipulation because my logics are very complex, then still you can use the application layer. But this one is especially to get the data from directly from HANA and put it in the ALV format. So that's what we are going to see today. And today, unfortunately, I don't have a system to show you this one, but I can upload, as usual, I can upload the code into the drive. So you can just download it and you can try it on your system. Okay, let's get into the slides today. So we do have a normal or a traditional classical ALV. It helps to get the information from the database table, and we might use ABAP or object-oriented ABAP code. We do have class and methods to display the ALV format. And we normally use the manipulation with the help of by application layer before we display through ALV format. So mostly we need that layer to perform the data manipulation. So here we need to be very clear how to avoid the application layer completely. Get the data and display in ALV format. So if we approach this process, we might have a limitation. So this video, we are going to try to understand how to achieve that. And if you have limitations, then we try to learn before we get into our business scenarios. Because once in the middle of the development, if you come to know this is not possible, again, you have to go back and start from scratch with other approach. Okay, so instead of that, just understand completely, then get into the development. So technically, we call this process as ALV with IDA. So IDA is nothing but integrated data access. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are trying to get the data from HANA database through a CDS view. So on top of it, once you have a CDS view, we are going to use few class and methods, especially from the IDA perspective. Then it will automatically display the ALV format. So still that they do have an option to achieve the ALV options like put a header text and maybe we can have a custom button in the toolbar, manipulate the toolbar button. So everything still they are available. Probably they might increase other options as well. Okay, so we do have the specific classes and interface, IDA class and interface, which helps to display the format as well as try to achieve most of the ALV functionalities with this process. So a few things here, and once you have the CDS in place, okay, and you have to use this the whole line just to display your ALV. So this these two lines are doing the same functionality. I splitted with few declaring by object reference, but here there's no object reference, so just single line it used to display your ALV. Probably you might have heard of this. And this is your SQL view name. In CDS, you have two things, right? CDS view entity and SQL name. Make sure you are using the SQL name here, okay? And the same line, I divided into two parts with the help of object reference variable. And the next one is suppose I have, so the previous code helps us to generate a ALV with the data, whatever is generated by CDS view. And after that, suppose if you want to remove some ALV fields, I have 10, but I want only 3 or 4, then we have, so here everything is class and methods only, okay? So you have, suppose you have the reference, then there is a couple of methods which helps to achieve this process. Field catalog and get available fields, and you have to get the fields first. After that you want to remove it because again it's an internal table. At the end you will get the internal table, what are the fields available in the ALV, and you have to remove it, what are the fields you doesn't want it. Okay, and probably in the current version which I'm using you have to use this, but in the higher versions we have a couple of different methods. It makes little simple with the help of true or false concept. So this is a field I want true, yes, it will disable, false, then it will enable it. Sorry, in other way. If ABAP is true, it's enable. If ABAP, you can say it's false, ABAP false, then it is disabled way. Okay, so there is a different methods, but current version which I am using, it supports this methods only. Okay, and once I delete, I'm going to use the another method called set available fields. Here is a get, here is a set available fields, and passing the same internal table. So what happens? After this code, it remove these two fields from my ALV and displays whatever is required from the business. And select option, how to handle a select option with this ALV with IDA concept. So the same like how to pass a select option to the AMDP method, same way we have to make some internal table with the values of select options, okay, along with the data element, along with the data element concept. So here what I'm doing is I have a material, imagine I have a select option called S underscore MATNR, and this is the data element for this select options. So I have to use a method called add ranges for name. So this is a different variable in the entire code. That is the object reference which refers to a class that I'll show you. Okay, so add ranges for the name, and we have to pass the data element of your select options, and ID ranges, nothing but your select options, you have to pass it. So once it is done, you have to collect the ranges. So you have to use get collected ranges, and that is coming under another new internal table, SOPT values is okay, it can be anything. There's another internal table which carries the format. It's nothing but include, exclude, ranges, everything is it's going to be added here, and finally that is going to be passed to a select option. So set select options. So this will automatically filter your ALV final result based on the user input. Suppose if you want to have more than one select options, very simple. This line is going to be a repeat with the different data element and the another select option. So this is going to be common. So after this, it will take everything. Once this is done, it will collect all the informations about these two select options over here, and it will apply to your final ALV format. And header text, suppose I want to pass a header text, you have we use the first object reference, and there is a method field catalog, and we have another method called set field header text. So that is going for one field, and this is for the other. So two different fields I set in my header text along with the tooltip options as well. And custom toolbar, so here I just limited options, but you can try, most of the options are available. So if you want to pass a custom toolbar, sorry, custom button in the existing standard ALV toolbar format, then you have to use another object reference which refers to a different class. So here is nothing but object tool, and there is a method called add button, and you have to use the function code. Every button has a function code, and a few parameters I used here. I want an icon, I want a quick info, so everything I just used it. Okay, and I added a separator. If you want to separate just a line between two buttons, then you have to use another method called add separator, and then one more button I have added it. So this is pretty, the functionality is same like how we added a button in the ALV toolbar, the existing traditional ALV. So here you have a local class method as well as the implementation, and you need a set handler. If the button is triggered, there is a method. Especially we have to create a method for the function code. Whenever there is a trigger happens, that method is going to be triggered with the help of your set handler concept. The same thing we have to use it here as well. So anything else? Sorry. Okay. You just to learn about the limitations of this ALV IDA concept. So the ALV IDA is especially to display the direct data from your database. That is the main idea of this ALV IDA. And we, excuse me, you're able to make few things like I can hide some fields. I want to rename my column header. Yes, you can able to do it. I want to disable the sorting and filtering options. So I don't want to enable. These are a few options available. I don't want to enable overall all the fields have this option, but I want to disable my sorting and filtering. Yes, that is also possible. And this is especially to design for code push down and performance optimization, meaning take the data, display it in ALV format. So you want to try to avoid the application layer. Okay, try to get almost all the data through the CDS view concept and put it in your ALV format. So that level, if that is your requirement, yes, this is the place where you can use it for the better performance. And cell level customizations are not possible at this time. For example, I want to color something, I want to edit, keep some particular cell to be edited based on the user input. Those are not possible. So that's what I'm saying. This is take the data, put it in the ALV. So that is your requirement. Go ahead with this. The performance is really awesome. Okay, especially high data volume options. So and then other things to be noted. So ALV IDA, the class, whatever you mentioned within single codes, right? So that accepts a transparent database table. Yes, it accepts classical CDS view, meaning your view, like defined view. Okay, defined view has annotations which creates a view in your backend, right? The first one, SQL annotation.SQL view name. But if you use view entity, that is optional. Means you don't want to create a SQL view in the backend. So then you can't use CDS view entity for this process. So it has to be a classical CDS view with SQL view name only. So CDS views entities, so no, it is you're not able to make it for this ALV IDA. And non-transparent name is also you're not able to use it. And views without a SQL view name. Normally CDS view entities is a view that might come without SQL name. So you cannot use that for your ALV IDA process. So what will happen is it will give an error. Okay. So you cannot use view entity as a name to display your ALV format. That cannot be possible. And yeah, that's it. I'll go through the code quickly. I have it in my notepad and then I can upload it in the drive as well. Okay. So this is the code and I need a few local class declaration, especially to handle the custom button in my toolbar. So a few object reference here. This was I'm talking about. This needs as SQL view name or a transparent database table. So you can't able to make my entity name over here. No, that is not possible. And these are the codes which I'm going to use for the select option, single or multiple. And a few declarations also, few object declarations also I have to make it. And then the methods add range we have seen already. And this you just collect it and you can pass it to the final ALV. So that will display based on your user input. And so hide column, single or multiple. So you have to read it first and you have to delete it and then using another method set available fields that will help you to make it. And then column properties. So you have some column here. I just make some color header text, change my default header text, assigning some tooltip. So what you can do is you can have a cursor here. If you want to know what are the options available, you can say control space bar. It will give all the list of methods based on your version is currently available. So you can make use of that. And the other one is the toolbar. And there is a method called hide all standard functions. Suppose it's very rare. If you want to just remove the entire toolbar, then use this method hide all standard functions. Okay. So then the next one is I'm going to add a custom button in my existing toolbar with a separator. And here the set handler like register your event, right? So that you have to make it. And finally, I have the option here as like full screen display. Probably this needs to become here because I have other values. So display options also I have it over here. Yep. I want to give a title and I want to add a display filter for METNR and display sorting option for my other field, NETPR field. So here the short term might come whenever there is a change in your field name. Whatever field name in your it's in your CDS view and that might be changed or spelling mistake, obviously it goes to a dump. Okay, so make sure that one. So, and finally, this is the class implementation. So whenever that button is selected, the toolbar button is selected, it comes here and it's based on the function code. It just start working on the functionality of the button. Okay. So this is the simple code. So play around. You have a lot. Always remember, take the data, put it in an ALV. This is the best option. And if it's a high volume of data, it works really good. Okay. So thank you so much for your time. Just go through it. If you have any doubt, please let me know. See you in the next video. Bye.